Hello everyone, thank you for joining me. Cindy here from CLB Craft Creations, and this is the card project we're going to be making today. I'm actually going to be making something a slight bit different, but still has the same elements. After I did this card, I thought it needed something, but it was very nice. I originally had wanted to put some baker's twine on it, and I had actually adhered it to the card before I had done that, and I went to go try and pull it off, and it was going to rip the card. So I just left it as is, and I figured I would change it on the fly, and I've actually completely left out the baker's twine on this on my next sample. So let's get started. We're going to be using, like we did in our last video, the Celebration set, which is a free set that you can get through Celebration with a $50 purchase. This is one of the sets that you can choose for free. Okay, and we're going to be using Birthday Bash again. So the colors are all still the same. Our Whisper White piece, this is cut at 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. Our Bermuda Bay is cut at 4 by 5 1/4. Then I have my Designer Series paper, my Birthday Bash Designer Series paper, which is cut at 3 3/4 by 5. And then I have a scrap of Whisper White for my punching, which I'm going to add, which is different from the original card. So actually, let's go ahead and do that first. I'm going to use my Bermuda Bay ink and the Happy Birthday. And I don't have to worry so much about this being perfectly lined up because I'm actually punching this out. So that's done. Okay. I'll actually let that dry for a second. I'm going to go ahead and layer my Birthday Bash paper onto my Bermuda Bay. And then try to get it as centered on your paper as possible. Okay. Now I'm going to take my decorative label punch and I'm going to punch out both of these pieces right down here towards the bottom. I'm lining the edge with my Designer Series paper, but I mean, if I went all the way, no, I don't want to go all the way up. So we're looking at the bottom quarter, and you can eyeball this, whatever you think looks good. If you wanted to put it smack dab in the middle, you could, but because of the way that I'm designing this card, I wanted it down to the bottom corner. Okay, and then it will punch through both layers. So now I have my cut piece here. I'm going to adhere this now to the front of my card. And there is enough room on the side. When you line it up with the edge of your punch, there is enough room to get all the way around. And I'm going to put a little piece here because I don't want it flapping there as well. So and just line that up on your card front. Okay. Now you can do this one of two ways. On my original, I actually even cut through the Whisper White layer so that the inside piece, you saw actually what was on the inside through the front. Okay. I'm going to do that again as well. However, if you are not comfortable with doing that, then you could stamp right here and be done with it, and no one would be the wiser. But I'm going to go ahead and stamp through, or punch through. And because I've already punched out these pieces, the layer is much thinner, and now you have a guide to line it up so that you can get it exactly where you need it. And just take care to make sure that it's lined up. And it will go through very easily. Okay, and then that you can use for another project. So now I've got a window for the inside of my card. So now what I'm going to put there, instead of, on my original I had the Happy Birthday, which I did here. I'm actually going to go ahead and punch that out right now, since I have all this right, and it's dried now. Line that up. Okay, got that punched. Save that for a minute. And now I'm going to use my Stampin' and my imaging sheet here. And I'm going to use the little cake stamp, which I had put on the inside of the card, but not in the window. So now I'm thinking, okay, that's nicer. We're going to put the, we're going to put the little cake in the window there. Okay, so I'm just going to center that in the window. Bring in my Stampin' Go ahead and take that away. And in Calypso Coral ink, which coordinates with the paper, just line that up. And because it's the deep etched rubber, it fits right into that space and perfectly stamped. So now that's done, and the last thing that we have to do is add our happy birthday sentiment on the front. Now again, my original was I was just going to put some baker's twine on here, but then I thought that it looked odd. So what I'm doing now is I'm just going to pop my decorative label punch up with some dimensionals. 2 should do. Actually, 1 probably would be fine, but we'll put 2 on there. And center that up here. And there you go. So here was my original. Again, it's much plainer, but it still features the window, and then it had the cake with the happy birthday, which probably would have, in this case, would have made more sense to actually have that centered rather than off to the side. Again, I was supposed to put baker's twine there, which would have separated the images. So if I were to do this one again, I would have made it in the center, the window in the center with the happy birthday there, and then that would have been centered up with the cake stand as well. And then here is the finished card project that we just did. And I think that turned out really cute too. So I hope that you liked today's card project. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and leave me a comment. And I will see you guys next week. Thanks.